Welcome to this episode of Video Drone by DIY3DTech.com. In this episode, we're going to talk about the big announcement today from DJI about the Mavic Air, or what I'm going to refer to it as the Spark Mavic Pro Love-Child. Yes, to me, I'm confused, bewildered, and saddened because that thing looks like something that came from JJ Toys or something, or where these two got together and had some sort of illegitimate love child. What was DJI thinking? Come on. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the electronics. I'm really impressed with the electronics they've packed in it. But the form factor? Come on. It looks like one of those $99 knockoff Spark or Mavic drones, number one. Number two, where does it fit in the whole product schema roadmap of DJI? Obviously, it goes somewhere between these two. I don't get it. Why didn't they just give the Spark a 4K camera and maybe add $50 to it? I don't know. I'm really confused because, I looked at that, I watched the announcement, I found some humor. The guy had a hard time getting it out of his pocket. I think they would have practiced that, or maybe put some kind of bands on the propeller so it didn't get caught in his pocket. So there's some humor there. And he had to carry 3 of them. Is it going to break down that much? You got to have 3 of them? I don't know. Or he got 3 friends that wants to go flying, but he only had 1 remote control. I'm confused. But again, in all seriousness, I'm really struggling to see where this fits into the DJI roadmap or where I would want to buy it. It doesn't seem to have the flight time as the Pro. Now, it does have smarter electronics than the Pro, and it has a very nice camera, far better than the Spark. It's a little bit bigger, it appears, than the Spark, and maybe a little bit smaller than this. It does have folding arms where the Spark doesn't. So, again, it seems to fit somewhere between these two packages. But also the price point. This is where I struggle because the Spark is at a price point where I consider it almost an impulse purchase in today's day and age. A little bit on the high side. I would see it as being, if this was $500 with controller and everything, I'd see this really as sort of an impulse purchase type thing. Hey, I got to have it. It's in line with video games. Reaching up into the $700 for the Fly More package and everything gets it. I got to think about it a little bit before I push that buy button on Amazon. But, then you go to this guy. This guy takes some conscious thought, because you're going to drop, good $1,000, $1,200 on this guy. So, you have to think about this a little more. So this is what I would consider a planned purchase. So the Mavic Air is still very much in the planned purchase. I don't see cinematographers using it. Maybe bloggers, but then you got this for far less money. Because this is one of the things I really felt when the Spark came out, and I've said it over and over again, this is a YouTube drone. It's easy to fly, easy to video, does 1080p, which is great for YouTube. 4K, well, nice. Man, some of the uploads I've done, and I've got fast internet, and just to edit 4K video and everything else on today's computers, and I've got 6-core AMD machine decked out, blah blah blah. It takes a long time to edit. 4K is nice, but there's a lot of overhead to it that today's world's just not fully ready for, or at least in this type of price point genre is ready for. So if you're a cinematographer, yeah, you got some high-end stuff, and 4K is no issue to you. But again, I'm still struggling where this fits into their roadmap, the market, and why should I buy it? I've got a Spark, I've got a Mavic Pro. I get more flight time, I've got portability. If I take the legs off, I can stick this in my jacket pocket too. Now, yeah, so it's got a 3-axis gimbal, and I think that's a little bit of a shortcoming because, again, I feel that they could have added a 4K camera and a gimbal to this, maybe bumped up the price a little bit and had a big winner. Because what am I going to do with the Mavic Air? Are you guys going to buy? See, I'm a little bit confused. See, because if you ask me, this is what I would have gone after. So for roughly $100, you can buy this. It's got GPS, return to home. About 8 minutes of flight time, almost as much as this Spark, a little bit less than the Spark. This thing is lightweight. You could probably, if you worked hard enough, get it under 250 grams, so no FAA registration required. I would have been even okay with a fixed camera just like this, but a 1080p camera, a quality camera, GPS, return to home, and basically the logic functions of the Spark in this, again, with brushless motors too. I think the key to have brushless motors. And so this is at a $100 price point with brush motors and what you have here. So up the electronics a little bit, give me brushless motors, and even go in at 2.5. So you're half the price of the Spark. So you have the Spark here, and you have a product like this here. Now you have a great entry-level drone instead of that Trello. Come on, I think it's Trello or something like that. They're selling that third-party drone. Okay, so it's got no onboard SD cards. It's got to stream to your phone to record it. It's got a 720p fixed camera, no GPS. Come on, guys. That's not, you know, it's not promoting the DJI brand, and it's not promoting your roadmap, because what you want to have in a roadmap is somebody buys A, then they buy B, and they buy C, and so on. You know, because if we look at their roadmap right now, so they got the Spark at the low end, they have the Mavic sort of at the higher end, and then they go into the Phantom series, which is, I think, for example, if you take the Phantom 4, I think that's a step up from here. Because I think really they're trying to get away from the Phantom 3 series, so I'm not really counting that. So the Phantom 4 is a step up. Then a step up from that is the Aspire, and then a step up into the commercial industrial sense is the, what's it called, the Matrix C or something like that. Or so anyways, they have from, you know, A to E on the scale, so you know where you need to go, because one of the things you guys don't want to do is confuse your customers, and right now I'm a confused DJI customer, and that's never a good thing. Should I buy this? Should I buy that? Should I buy the Air? Are they going to discontinue the Pro? The Air doesn't, I think, have the flight time this does. I think this is rated at 20-some minutes. It's the Air is rated at 21. Also, it's not striking. This has a nice striking profile. You know, again, the Air, you know, maybe it'll grow on me, but I mean, initial impressions, the first thing I saw that in the leak photos is I said to myself, somebody took a picture of one of these JJ Toys or whatever these toy company drones are that everybody seems to review out there. And that's what it is. But no, that was the real thing. And so if my first impressions are of a toy drone, you know, come on, what's the market going to think? So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below, because I'm confused. I'm saddened they took this time out of my life to watch that. It's not what I was hoping for. It's not, as a consumer of DJI product, what I want. Now, I'm not the only, obviously, DJI consumer out there, but you know, I talk with a lot of you guys. I got a couple thousand subscribers. I interact with a lot of drone flyers, and I just really don't see this. And I didn't, you know, when I set the other video out, I said, what do you guys want to see? Nobody said, hey, I want a love child between these two guys. Nobody said that. You know, and a lot of people were actually, even Captain Drone was talking about something like this, which made a lot of sense to me. And when I, you know, because I didn't invent this idea on my own, I stole it from Captain Drone because it makes a lot of sense. You got a starting point, you got a top point, and inside the prosumer market, you can start out at consumer and go to prosumer, and you have, it stands out. So again, I'm dazed, bewildered, confused, beside myself. I don't know. Those are triggering words to me, I guess. But anyways, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Are you going to buy one? I don't know. It wasn't compelling enough for me to do a pre-order. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to think about it. And if it makes sense, because I do this channel and I'm into drone things, I may get one just, you know, to share with you guys what I think of it. And because that's the main reason I got the Spark, because I want to share with you guys what I thought about it. And, you know, enough people did the Mavic, but I got a good deal on it, so I figured what the heck, I toss it in. But, you know, still struggling with it. Oh, also, let me know what you had for lunch. Really interested. So, cheers. See you guys in the next video.